Hello, my dears. Today we can discuss another new topic, Tagore's abode of peace. In the previous session, we discussed about Mahatma Gandhi and his idea about national education. And today we can discuss Tagore's idea about education. I think you have heard of Shanti Niketan. What is the meaning of Shanti? Peace. Niketan, a place where peace resting. So here, abode of peace. Abode also the same meaning, a place where peace is there. Abode means a place where one who lives, that known as abode. So here, a place where peace is there, that is abode of peace. And here Shanti Niketan, the same meaning, Shanti Niketan. You know, or do you know why Shanti Niketan was established and by whom it established? Why Shanti Niketan was established and by whom Shanti Niketan was established? I think all of you heard about Rabindranath Tagore. Sure, you know that. Related to our national anthem, I think all of you know Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore, he started this institution, which one? This Shanti Niketan, in the year 1901. As a child, Tagore hated to going to school. Tagore hated going to school means he was not ready to go to school. He disliked going to school. I know even you were in LKG section May, you also not ready to come to school. So here Tagore, as a child, he was not ready to go to school. He found it suffocating and oppressive. Tagore thought it created some problem to him, suffocating and oppressing. There is no, according to him, some are saying something and the students want to obey all the things. So he thought that that was suffocating and oppressive. The school appeared like a prison. According to him, the school appeared like a prison, for he could never do what he felt like doing. So while other children listened to the teacher, Tagore's mind would wander away. See, in the school, Tagore actually he was not ready to go to school, and when he was in the school, other children listened the teachers. But what was the condition of Tagore? His mind wandered away any other outside. His mind outside the class. The experience of his school days in Calcutta shaped Tagore's ideas of education. Then he himself developed a new ideas of education. When he grew up, he wanted to set up a school where the child was happy, where she could be free and creative, where she was able to find out, explore her own thoughts and desires. So, what type of a school Tagore wished to establish? He wanted to start a school where child was happy, where she could be free and creative, where she was able to explore, to study and find out, discover newer things, her own thoughts and desires. Tagore felt that childhood ought to be a time of self-learning. So the above points you have to underline. According to Tagore, childhood ought to be a time of self-learning outside the rigid, means strong and restricting discipline of the schooling system set up by the British. So he was against the rigid discipline of the school system set up by the British. According to him, childhood learning it must be free, happy, and it was a time of self-learning. Teachers want to be imaginative. They want to understand the child and help the child to develop her curiosity, anxiety, or a feeling to know something. Teachers must helpful to the child to develop their curiosity. And according to Tagore, the existing schools killed the natural desire of the child to be creative, her sense of wonder. So, here Tagore thought that whatever the syllabus, that is syllabus imposing to the students here in the British schooling system, and there were strict discipline and a rigid or is very strong schooling system. So he told that schools killed the natural desire of the child to be creative and her sense of wonder. Tagore was of the view that creative learning could be encouraged only within a natural environment. So what was his idea about the school? So a free place for the student where happiness and creative learning occurred. So for this, or to make a creative learning, he needed a natural environment. Schools need a natural environment. So he chose to set up his school 100 kilometers away from Calcutta in a rural setting in a village area. He saw it as an abode of peace. He saw that school as an abode of peace means a place where peace living. A place where peace living, that is known as Shanti Niketan, where living in harmony with nature. That means the students or children, they living in harmony with nature means with a unity, with a connection with the nature. Children could cultivate their natural creativity, and from here children could cultivate their natural creativity. In many senses, Tagore and Mahatma Gandhi thought about education in similar ways. So we can, when we go through the Gandhiji's and the Tagore's ideas of education, we can see there were some similarities. There were, however, differences also. So some similarities and some differences. Gandhiji was highly critical. He critical of Western civilization and its worship of machines and technology. But Tagore wanted to combine elements of modern Western civilization with what he saw as the best within Indian tradition. That is the difference. Gandhiji was highly critical of English education, Western worship of machines and technology. But at the same time, this Tagore, he wanted to combine, to join the elements of modern Western civilization with what he saw as the best within Indian tradition. And he also he emphasized the need to teach science and technology at Shanti Niketan along with the art, music and dance. Here, Tagore gave more stress on teaching science and technology at Shanti Niketan, also art, music and dance. Many individuals and thinkers were thus thinking about the way a national education system could be fashioned. That many of the thinkers and many individuals, they started thinking about national education system, a system of education of India. Some wanted changes within the system set up by the British and felt that the system could be extended so as to include wider sections of people. Others urged that alternative system to be created so that people were educated into a culture that was truly national. So there were differences of opinion Some people want to introduce some changes in the system set up by the British, and some others they want to find out some newer alternative systems of education. So, who was to define what was truly national? So, here one question: who can define what was truly national, truly Indian? The debate about what this national education ought to be continued till after independence. So, there were the question national education. The debate related to this national education continued till after India's independence. So, dear students, what we discussed today, Tagore's abode of peace. So, in short, we can say that this Shanti Niketan, or the place of peace, this institution started by Rabindranath Tagore in the year 1901. The experience of his school days in Calcutta shaped Tagore's ideas of nation. And when he grown up, what happened? He wanted to set up a school. And what type of a school he ready to, or he imagined, or he want to set up? The place the child was happy. She could be free and creative. She was able to explore her own thoughts and desires. And what was the opinion of Tagore about childhood? It was a time of self-learning outside the rigid and restricting discipline of the school system set up by the British. Teachers had to be imaginative. They want to understand the child and help the child develop her curiosity. So Tagore opined that creative learning could be encouraged only within a natural environment. So underline this area. Creative learning could be encouraged only within a natural environment. That is why he chose to set up his school 100 kilometers away from Calcutta in a rural setting, in a village or rural area. He saw it as an abode of peace, Shanti Niketan. And what was the peculiarity of this Shanti Niketan? Underline this point. Where living in harmony with nature, living in a unity with nature, a connection with nature. Children could cultivate their natural creativity. And then also we discussed the similarities of Tagore's and Mahatma Gandhi's ideas and the differences also. And here, when we discuss the differences of Tagore's ideas and Mahatma Gandhi's ideas, Mahatma Gandhi, he was a critic of Western civilization and its worship of machines and technology. But at the same time, Tagore wanted to combine the elements of modern Western civilization with the Indian traditional system. Tagore emphasized the need to teach science and technology at Shanti Niketan along with art, music and dance. Underline this. Then where we concluded the thoughts of other individuals about national education. So many thinkers and individuals, they thought about the way of national education in their own way. A system could be fashioned. Some individuals, they wanted changes within the system set up by the British. But others, they want alternative system, new system to be created so that people were educated into a culture that was truly national. So dears, read this area 2-3 times. Thank you. Have a nice day.